Games. Board games. We might be talking about KCON, KCON, but I'm not gonna shout. Here I am with Josie and Scott, who is not a big robot, but we're going to play some games. I don't know which one, so I don't know their names. KCON, KCON is what we're here for. KCON, KCON, and my feet are on the floor. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. 10 a.m. ish. Time for Busy Beats and Board Game Bladder. KCON Day 3. And do you want to say hello or not?
Yeah, why not?
So, hello, Scott.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yesterday you were doing the skull, and I saw you. That looks like you were teaching people. How did the newbie thing actually go? Because I actually wanted to talk to you about that, but didn't get. Yeah.
So the social games part of the morning.
Like were people drifting in as and whenever they. Oh, I'm finally out of bed. I've maybe had their breakfast. And now I just want to meet people.
Yep. Or people who have just come to the con, they may have come by themselves, they don't know anything here, and they can just come along and they can play a game. We sit together and it's like, hi, I'm Scott, I like Euro games, and then we quickly went around the circle, everyone introduced themselves, and then it's like, right, you've got a choice of 3 games. This is this. Let's play, and we pick a skull. So we played 6 players skull.
What were the other choices? So skull, for those who don't know, is a bluffing game. Place skulls or roses, and then at the end, flip them over. You bet. Okay, I guess out of all the 8 things on the table, I can find 5 that are skulls. Flip over your own. Think, okay, who's likely to have put a rose on top and what's a skull? And it's a really nice. Hey, maybe I can give a high bet, hoping that someone else will bet more than me, and then they will think that I've just put roses, but more ha ha ha. I actually have skulls. That's the joke.
That's exactly what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about. It's all about the bluff. The other one was Ghost Blitz, which is a dexterity sort of snatching game. That was a hit and miss with one of the groups that we did. The second group absolutely loved it. And the other one was Colour Brain.
Oh yes, that's really nice because from a design point of view, multiple choice is really nice because then you've always got a chance to do it. But having multiple choice of 3, it makes you feel like, well, I've got 1 in 3 chance of being right. But then multiple choice of 10 or whatever it is in Colour Brain is too much to constantly write out every time.
Yeah.
But because it's always the same possible answers, it works really well. And sometimes it's not just one colour, sometimes it's multiple colours. Honestly, from a design point of view, I am impressed with it.
It's very, very easy to teach, it's very easy to play, and it's really, really scalable because you've got your 2 hands of rainbow cards, and you just take how many players you've got.
And you said that your highlight was Nova Luna, but getting back to the earlier bit, would you say like 10 or less people turned up for the newbie social? Were there more people since I kind of swapped over to see what was going on?
I would say probably we had about 15 to 18 people yesterday.
Wow, that's
over
a
the
really
course
good
of
number.
about 3 hours.
Okay. So even though it was advertised as 9:30 to 10:30, you were there 9:30 to 12:30?
Yeah. And because obviously it being Saturday, people turn up there at different times. You have people who are registered on Friday night, so they are in and ready to go at 9:30. Other people are coming in for the first time, still registering and everything like this. And 11 o'clock, that's when they're ready to go. And they come over, and there might only be 2 or 3 of them, as opposed to 8 or 9 of them. But it still makes a nice group, introduce people. And I know on Friday, the 5 people we introduced together in the morning stuck together the entire day.
Oh, that's lovely.
And they just kind of moved around the venues, took case from the games library and stuff like that. And they stayed together all day Friday. And then Saturday, I saw that they'd gone off and met other people, but then I did see them play as a group again later yesterday.
That is, and sometimes it's just about having that confidence to get started. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Do you think it should remain just in the mornings, or like for KCON 2023? Do you think there should potentially be, an ongoing all day thing?
I would probably suggest 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Because especially when you've got people who might only turn up partway through Saturday morning, for example.
Like one at 10ish, one at 4ish, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's such a valuable little activity, and it doesn't cost anything to
And I guess the other thing is that it might be that people have come in, they think, oh, I don't need this, but then later in the afternoon they're feeling a bit weird. And I myself actually managed to introduce someone to someone, which was lovely. Josie did kind of give me props for this. And someone came along, I'm not going to name names, and was like, oh, here are my games. This is what I'm into. This is what I've just watched into board games a year ago. And I was really curious about some of their party games, but they hadn't maybe played them enough to be able to explain them super well without getting them open and reading through the instructions again, which. But then I was like, hey, and then Flab then walked by and was like, hey, Flab, do you like this person? And Flab, oh, I'm just here to play. I thought Flab was like demoing something. I thought, oh, a couple of those things would work quite well. But then Flab got Richie, and then I saw this person, really enjoying the game, getting into it, and they had a lovely conversation. And then they kind of felt maybe a little bit better. I mean, it's just difficult because some people come with the expectation of, hey, I'll be able to bring 30 games and I'll be able to play, a good chunk of my own. But I think that you can't dictate too many of the games. I was at my stand, but I brought, except for my own games, it's a bit of a weird thing to kind of say, don't do as I do, but I brought Farben, which I did get to play, and now I've left it in the room. Okay, I'd like to play it more, but and then the other thing that's brought was some little board games, which is mainly because Josie asked for it, and I honestly would have brought like one. If I was coming myself, I'd probably bring maybe 3 or 4 things. Oh, sorry. Let's go this way. So this is Josie. But let's see, can we get all 3 of us?
Yeah.
So I think it's difficult when people want to play all their own stuff, but I think that I'm really benefited by the fact that I do love games of all sorts. It's like, oh, cool, wandering around. Yes, sure, I'll play that. Yeah, sure, I'll play that. Yes, sure, I'll play that. And it's kind of being quite opportunistic about.
I think this is a thing that you find at cons though is people turn up and they'll turn up with a large bag of games, and they'll be like, okay, I've got 12 games in my bag and I'd really like to play all of them. And you never do. You play 2, 3 of them maybe because you're getting with the group, you'll play a game you want to play, and then you'll pull a game out. Oh, I brought this, and can we play this? Yeah, absolutely, we can. And then if you've got say 4 of you around the table, you've played 4 games, but it's only one of them's come out of your bag, and people just massively overpack from cons. I know, I do. I think I do it.
But then you always buy new games as well.
Yeah.
So you bought how many with you, and then you buy 4 or 5.
Well, I just bought this, so I want to play it.
I mean, speak for yourself. At the past, I'm not expecting. Yeah, I guess I am being very mindful of what I'm getting, particularly with the ensuing move. But even before that, the first 5 UK Games Expos I went to, I bought literally like 2 games because one of them was High Pocket, one of them was mine, and that does reflect the types of games I like. Oh no, I also bought King Brick. Yeah, I bought like 3 games in the first few years, and
I'm kind of in awe that you didn't buy more. Can I just tell you that?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like
You're not giving in.
recently, like I am at the point where people do sometimes give me games and just want to say hello, Time Ruler. It's lovely to see you. And yeah, just for those who weren't watching, this is Scott and this is Josie. And yeah, hello, Time Ruler is based in America where it's ridiculously early.
Oh, yes, it is.
And yeah, I wasn't happy about getting up. At what time did you get up? 8:30.
8:30.
Yeah, but like nowadays, I do sometimes get games. Okay, by swapping my own stuff, or someone saying, "Oh, I'm curious what you think of this," but you don't need that much because you can just go through and experience what's there. I mean, sometimes we have these packets and it feels like, oh my gosh, if I buy this game, I'm going to have this wonderful experience with it. And you might, but it doesn't guarantee you that wonderful experience until you actually sat down. It's only a pile of potential, to quote Mark Hood, but it's only potential. It's never actual fun until you're sitting down at the table with the other people. And I think that's the wonderful thing. And I would just not generally giving hugs during the convention, but I just want to like smother you all in hugs. Oh, you're just lovely.
Elbow rub.
Yeah, elbow of affection. Time Roller wants to let us know that they just finished playing Mosaic. Do you know that one?
I know the game, but I've never played it.
Yeah, I've not played it either.
Okay. Shall we quickly go through the games you played yesterday? Would you be interested? So the ones I played a lot on my own. I'm not actually. I probably should get.
I think you played all of them.
No, you can't. I played all my games.
No, but
I
no, we played the
I
majority
played
yesterday.
a game about stuffing balloons as a team without talking about the
Yeah.
sparking there are no actual balloons. A game about quickly counting cat ships, how counting cat ships colours that keeps getting trickier.
Yeah.
A game about quickly matching words to pictures, but never words to words or pictures to pictures. That one really went down well. I demoed, but I didn't actually play, a game about quickly grabbing creatures that are totally different from counting or turnips or beetroots. I played a game about comical pictures and trying to identify the lost noises. I did actually play Yogi. I also played a game about quickly grabbing cards and judging them against free descriptions. I didn't play a game about drawing creatures compliments as drawing thing compliments and the compliments. And I didn't play a game about selecting 7 cards to do the research.
But we did play whatever it's going to be called last night using the L deck. Would we play
Oh,
that?
we played a couple of new ones. We played Triple but anyway, we played a lot of my games, but we didn't play all of them. Far from it. Far from it.
But today's a whole new day full of opportunity.
But for me, it's also about trying to new things. And other people's games I played Ominoes with Andrew Harmon.
I know it, yeah.
And I played with a chess clock. I suppose okay, I've not got much time. I want to be back there, but it's a bit quiet. Let's put a 1-minute chess clock on it. And first few games I won on time. And then once we bumped it up to a 2-minute timer, then we actually finished the game. And I won on points, which was very satisfying. We played Vegan Not Vegan, which was an experience. It was disappointing, but it inspired a whole new game, which I will definitely make. And but it will take a lot of time to think of true or false questions. I'm not going to deny there's a lot of skill in writing those questions. What else did I played? Ready Set Bet. Have you played this one?
Nope.
So in theory, one person rolls the dice and then they move horses along. And then they can be excited and shout out things and other people to bed in a real-time way. But then we played it with an app. I would prefer playing it with real people and doing that as long as the real people are energetic. Because then you've got the energy of a real person and you're staring at a real person doing it, as opposed to staring at the screen. And to be honest, that's part of why I play board games. I want to look at the people rather than the bits, let alone the screen. That's my personal point of view. And so I did slightly miss that. It felt like it's slightly subdued compared to how I played it at Spiel at 1 a.m. with some Glaswegians. Fellow Glaswegians, I should say. What else did... Kittin by Alley Cat Games. It was actually my first time playing it because I started leaving the company about the time that they made that game. It was nice. Perfectly good speed game. We played Farben, which is a memory storytelling game. You need to share memories. Say, okay, family, what color do you associate with this? Tell a story about that. Make your story memorable.
and then you get points if people remember your story,
Okay.
and you also get points for remembering other people's stories. So it's about active listening. It's really interesting. And what did you think of that one, Josie?
I liked it. I didn't particularly. I think people need to tell stories. Nobody was telling a story, so which didn't then help. They were kind of linking it more to not a story, so you didn't remember what they were talking about. When you link it with a story, I think.
Like I remembered your blue sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. I don't want to share that to everybody. Thank you, though, Liz.
But you're willing to share that you had a blue
literally a
sleeping
story
bag.
there, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
You're willing to share that there
Willing
was.
to, there was a blue sleeping bag. Yes.
We'll say no more about that. But there was a lot of lovely stories, and I wouldn't share all the stories that I shared for the record. But
Because you know there's like international laws and things like that, you know.
I would love to play that again, but maybe not with people. It's
It
not
needs to
as
be with people that you are happy
kind
to
of
be
know.
familiar with. Yes.
I think that if people were over at my place and we'd played a couple of games, or if someone even brought over a friend, I'd want to play a game with them first. Like even if it was a friend of a friend, I think we'd want to play something else first before sharing the stories, because it does work best if you're willing to say, yes, this is something I genuinely did when
and
I
some of the
was.
subjects are quite actually deep. Like some of the words
Pride.
are like pride, shame,
Guilt.
yeah. There
Like
were some
even
words in
family.
there that
Family
were
can
some
get
kind of quite
really
evocative words, so you could share things that maybe.
It was
Yeah.
really interesting.
Might get a bit raw if you're playing with people that you don't know particularly
Exactly.
well.
Yeah.
You've got to be willing to be a little bit vulnerable.
Yes.
And people who know me know that I'm probably a lot more vulnerable, even on the internet. I do open myself up to that than most people want to be. And I think that I did well because all my stories were memorable because I shared a lot.
Yeah.
We've also played Sequoia, which we talked about. It's a lovely area control dice rolling thing. Told you about it.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do agree it's pretty. I think I wish that the cards had a black and white.
Yeah, I agree. I think the number cards where you place your things should have had less stuff on them. But maybe that's part of it, so you can't quite see how many leaves are on it.
That feels like a visual accessibility issue. It's just like the colors of the things that you're putting on got kind of lost in the chaos of the colors. But it was, honestly, reading it, I'm still bothered by that one rule that will come up maybe in
What did you work
50
it out?
games at full player count. Basically, if you roll all five, you get to say something Sequoia, and then you roll all of them again. And if you roll all 5 dice the same.
Yep.
And there's one, I works out the calculations. And
That's how I know she was by the rule.
it's just at the point it's interesting because it's that just to give people a safeguard where having that rule makes someone annoyed that they got all 4, sit that back and appreciate, well, at least I didn't get all 5 the same. Maybe that's part of the, maybe it's more of an emotional thing. Because have you heard this about Pandemic Legacy? Where part of the value of having that, if you lose 3 times in a row, open this box is for people, once they've lost 2 times in a row, then they felt, well, at least you've not lost 3 times in a row, or still not bad enough to open the box. And so to an extent, it didn't really matter what was in the box. The designers said that emotionally, it makes people feel like, well, the game says we can't be that bad, and we're still not.
We aren't as bad as that. Okay.
And we could even be presumably, so we are clearly not as bad as the designers were expecting. Which is really interesting, right?
I like that.
So maybe it's more about, hey, I'm not as unlucky as I could have been. Maybe that's the value of the rule, which makes the action appreciate it a bit more, but only if you actually did tell people. But anyway, Sequoia, what were your other highlights? You also played triple and repeatable for the LDEC.
Yes.
One is a memory game where you keep telling the same story and repeat it in order to remember all the letters through the deck.
Okay.
And it's actually easier than it sounds because you're working on a memorable story together.
I think that'd be nice for the kids as well.
And then we played triple, which is a matching game, but not matching 2, matching 3. So we have to match. And that was, again, a contest entry. And matching 3 does give it more of a twist than I was expecting.
Is that card based, is it?
Yeah, it's for the LDEC, for the 1 or 2 letters on each card.
Did you match the letters, the numbers, or the picture border.
Mhm.
So that makes it quite like what am I focusing on?
Okay. Good.
But yeah, do you have anything else that you really want to share at this point, or shall we say goodbye to the internet? Okay, so Scott, do you have a question for us? Question of the day, question of the day. Oh wait, we never did. A brilliant thing, brilliant thing. What's the thing which is brilliant? Cups are glasses. Glasses are brilliant. Can we agree?
Glasses
Glasses are
They
brilliant.
can hold all sorts of different things.
Yeah, all sorts of liquids.
Yeah.
Wine or apple juice or water.
Or not even liquid. You can put a dessert in a glass.
Yes, there were
Which they
desserts
do
yesterday.
at breakfast here. It's a tumbler glass and it is yogurt and granola.
Kumquat.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was delicious, for the record.
breakfast in a glass.
So glasses
And
are
it's not
brilliant.
Guinness.
Question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. Do you have a question of the day? What would you like to ask us, Scott?
We'll get onto it back.
Oh dear. I don't know. What kind of subject do I get to ask about?
Anything. Anything
Um,
respectful.
Oh,
I mean, anything that you would actually want to ask, you can ask.
I don't know. Oh, I've been put on the spot.
I'll give you a moment.
Performance
So-
anxiety.
Let's move on to over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but if you want to. I'm going to stay here. 11:30. We were planning to see the frog clock.
It's not raining now though, so maybe, or is it?
Yeah.
Is it still raining?
We will maybe see the frog clock
Maybe.
in Milton Keynes. Definitely be back for 2 p.m. events, which is going to be a grand finale of a game about quickly grabbing creatures that's totally different and counting your turnips, moving on and beetroots, moving on to radishes,
Yeah.
moving on to the coloured in deck. Have you seen this?
No.
People have been colouring in a deck. You should
No.
colour in
I'm
one.
not seeing it. I'm not seeing
You
it.
should colour in one. I think there's only 5 left to colour in. And 5 cards out of 15.
Cards to make it even more difficult when you play because everybody's coloured it in differently.
And Time Roller says that dessert sounds delicious, and the answer is blue. I don't know what the question was, but
Answer is blue.
so to whatever Scott was about to ask, the answer is blue.
I mean that.
Now you need to find the question of the day.
Yeah.
Actually,
So over, what are you up to after my 2 p.m. event? Then I'll do the draw for someone who randomly winning the thing, and then just play games, play whatever. I'm looking forward to Kids in a Shuffle. I'll have a go with that.
It's a mega game. I
And
love a kidney shuffle.
I put it in Bring a Buy.
Oh,
I don't know how to play it, but everybody said it's really good.
yeah, it's so super. It's just cutthroat in a really good way.
That's what everybody's
I love
like.
it.
You can really screw each other over.
Yes, yes, you can. I love a kidney shuffle.
I mean, I have been wanting to play it at Spiel for ages, but it's looks like it takes slightly longer than I tend to have at Spiel, because when I say I don't have much time to play a game, I mean literally I sit down and I'm like, okay, if this will take 7 minutes or less, I can play it. And then it's like, okay, we did actually do that. Okay, I actually did have 15 minutes, but was just being cautious. But you know how some demonstrators are.
Yes.
They don't value, if you say I've got 7 minutes, then I give you a game that takes 15 minutes. But yeah, anyway. So then I played 2 games with the same designer of that game, Chris Strauss. I can't remember their name, sorry. Designer of a Kindle Shuffle. But they've got like this giant stand at Spiel. It feels very much like me at UK Games Expo, like they've got that level of presence, and it's always in one spot, and you've got these lovely helpers that everyone's super enthusiastic, like probably less enthusiastic than me, because I'm super extroverted and excitable, but they have this lovely calm demeanour, and I bought one of their games, which I'm now regretting I didn't bring, but we can play it another time. Anyway, so any other plans other than a Kindle Shuffle?
So I'm playing. I'm about to play the Zombie Side Second Edition,
Ooh.
and then this afternoon I booked in for Unfathomable, which again I have not played, but I've heard a lot about.
I've heard that's good.
Yeah. So apparently it's very much like Battlestar Galactica, which is another game I've also not played.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, it does take a while, and it's like most social deduction games, it rewards repeated plays, and it rewards it if everyone's willing to be a bit chaotic and just do whatever the first time you play, just to learn it, and then, okay, now we all know it. I think like lots of games, to be honest, any good game, you want to play it at least a couple of times.
Yeah, to help get better with the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But Scott, do you have a question of the game?
Well, if my answer is blue, then the question is, what colour doesn't naturally occur in food?
We went
What colour doesn't naturally occur in fruit?
Oh,
Oh, question of the day, question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. Is that the only colour? I mean, I guess, yeah, in terms of colours, like silver, but like proper glowy silver, but that's not really a colour. It's to do with the properties of the, it's to do with the properties of the reflectiveness.
Yeah.
So, magenta doesn't happen in food.
is it not?
Like proper bright magenta. I'm sure there must be a shade of magenta.
It's like dragon fruit. It's like a dragon fruit.
That's kind of a slightly pale thing. But I think Scott's right. Like a lot of the blue spectrum, like a big swath of it. Whereas for everything else, I'm sure you could say,
Yeah,
okay,
there's purples and pinks and things, but not necessarily
Hmm.
blue.
Which is why they, when people work in kitchens, they have their first aid boxes and plasters, they are blue, they are bright blue, because bright blue doesn't occur naturally in
Seaweeds,
food.
seaweeds, various seaweeds.
You've got bright blue too?
Yeah, that's how they colour certain
Is seaweed food?
Well, I'm vegan. Yeah,
Mm,
I think it is.
vegan or not vegan? Remains to be seen.
So, recap and wrap up before we finish up. Basically, I think that we can all conclude that we've had fun. We're happy to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like tomorrow, Josie and I can chat about things that, you know, there's all, with any convention, there's going to be some highs, some lows, some things like, oh, why did that person do that? And, oh, like you've already said, like D's, it could be even better. But this is like any convention. I mean, frankly, Spiel, UK Games Expo, even the big ones could be even better. And I hope to see everything continue to improve, KCON included, but it's a lovely thing. And glasses are brilliant. Blue doesn't occur naturally in food. And even a terrible game can inspire something.
Yes.
Cats and sombreros.
Oh yes, cats and sombreros. I tell you what, if you give me 10 more ideas like that, I will give you design credit. Not actually design credits, I'll give you a credit. I won't credit you as a game designer, but like as a character inspirer.
Oh, I
You are
inspired the balloons. Where's my inspiration thing?
You're a game inspirer.
I'm a game muse.
Yes. You are my muse. You are one of my muses. I don't want to be. But yeah, that is a lovely thing. And for now, if you want to check me out, I'm Stuff My Best in all the places. stuffmybest.com/streams. And thank you, Scott, for the lovely chat. I hope it's been a nice start to the day.
Lovely to be here.
And Josie. And for now, the only thing left to say, as always, is bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone.